I created this concept called the evolution of employee experience, basically talking about how did we get to where we are today. In other words, why is employee experience such an important topic? And there were 4 stages of that evolution to get us to where we are today. The first one was utility. And this is if you go way, way back in the day, as far as how organizations were structured, really the only thing that employees needed or were given were things to get their jobs done. That was it. So in other words, if you were, in some sort of an office function or role, you were given a desk, you were given a phone, you were given a computer, if computers existed at that time, a notepad, a pen and paper, and that's it. It was really just about utility. You really were a cog. You were just there for a very specific function, and you were given the bare minimum of the tools and resources that you needed to be able to perform that function. Nothing beyond that was given to you. I learned something absolutely insane today. 96% of the people who watch videos on this channel are not subscribed. Are you one of those people? Please make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It'll take you 1 second. It helps me a lot, and you'll get access to more videos just like this one. And then I think after a while we realized, hey, wait a minute, this is probably not the most effective way for us to build organizations, and maybe we can do things a little bit better. How do we get a little bit more out of our employees? And then we moved from this era of utility to this era of productivity. And productivity was really about how do we get more out of our employees? How do we do more in terms of employee optimization? How do we take these repeatable processes and standardize them and create rules around them? And at that point, employees were literally timed with stopwatches to shave seconds off of their tasks that they were doing to try to get them to be more efficient, more productive. I kind of think of analogies for employees. They're like a lemon or some sort of a fruit, and the organization was trying to get every last drop of juice out of those employees. And then we moved to this era of engagement. And again, we realized, hey, wait a minute, this probably isn't the most effective way for us to think about employees. We shouldn't just be viewing them as resources where we try to get as much as we can out of them. We should try to focus on making them happy. And we introduced these concepts like employee engagement. We started doing annual employee surveys. We focused on corporate culture. But the problem with that period is that we really viewed employee engagement as kind of like a short-term adrenaline shot. What I mean by that is typically what happens in any company is nobody ever shows up on day one thinking this place sucks. Right? On day one, people are genuinely excited to be a part of your company. They are excited to work on cool things, to meet their team. Like they're ready to make an impact. And then what happens is through outdated workplace practices, office politics, bureaucracy, their engagement, their satisfaction, their happiness levels dip. And at that point, the organization does their wonderful annual employee engagement survey. And the company realizes that they have a 72. And then they go to their HR teams and they say, hey, my goodness, we have a 72. We need like a 98. How can you guys improve this? And a bunch of HR people get together around a table and somebody says, hey, who's got an idea? How do we improve employee engagement? And one of the HR people sheepishly raise their hand in the back and they say, why don't we give employees free food on Thursdays? Genius idea. And what happens? Employee engagement, satisfaction, happiness goes up. And then again, outdated office politics, bureaucracy, blah, 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 it goes back down. And again, we do our annual survey and we freak out and we say, what else can we do? And we say, well, why don't we give them hot yoga on Fridays? And you can kind of see where this is going, right? In other words, we're not making any core changes to the workplace practices. We're really just using employee engagement as an adrenaline shot. And when people aren't happy, we give them something to get them to shut up, close their eyes to the reality of what it's like to work for the company. And we keep giving them things and things and things. And then when they wear off, we give them other things. And this isn't true change to the organization. We're not revisiting workplace practices. We're not really making any changes whatsoever as far as leadership, as far as how work gets done, as far as what it means to be an employee. We're just distracting employees from the sad reality of their lives. And I think that's gone on for a very, very long time. And that brought us to the realm of employee experience. And this is something that I've talked about for many, many years now. And employee experience is about making changes to the core workplace practices of your organization around your people, focusing on 3 environments that your organization can control, which are culture, technology, and space. Culture, technology, and space. Culture is how employees feel working for you. Technology is about the tools and resources employees have access to do their jobs, and space is exactly what it sounds like. It's the spaces in which employees work, whether that's a headquarters, a home office, a co-working facility, or what have you. And I think this is the world that we're in now, and companies are really understanding and appreciating the value of employee experience. It's the number one business trend, the number one business focus for organizations around the world, because this is how you attract and retain talent. And it really boils down to this theme of how do we create an organization where people actually want to be there, not where they need to be there? And that, I think, is what employee experience is all about. And that's what this evolution of employee experience image really signifies and represents, is how we went from utility to productivity to engagement to experience over the past few years.